Hey everyone, it's the Flying Pig here, joined by the Hen. It's the Pig and the Hen show live on Flying Pig United YouTube channel. How's it going, Henry?
How's it going? I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not too shabby, not too shabby. Just on the old coffee at the moment, getting nice and hyped up. Drank a Carabao energy drink before this as well, so I'm buzzing.
Fair enough. There's coffee in it, but you just have that cheap, tacky, instant shit, don't you?
Cheap taffy? Did you not see my cafetiere, mate? Are you taking the piss? You're misinformed, mate.
Did you not just have an instant,
no.
like a Maxwell House?
Did you not see I had some like posh French thing? I just done a French press, mate.
Oh shit, sorry, man.
He's insulting my coffee, saying I've done an instant coffee. I didn't even do a fucking instant coffee. Do you want me to go get the French press, mate?
I wasn't paying
I'll
attention.
go get the French press.
Fair enough. We have some proper coffee.
I buy that expensive shit, and I do it the old-fashioned way. You know why? Because I want to taste my coffee when I taste it.
Why don't you just have an espresso? Get it over and done with. I'm not a massive. I don't know about coffee. I'm unsettled yet.
I fucking love coffee.
It brings you up, and then after a while, you just think, oh fucking hell, my stomach's
it's a bit acidic, yeah.
You know, and then you need a shit or something, and it's fucking horrible.
What?
You know,
what sort of coffee are you drinking, mate?
Well, I don't
Indian
know,
coffee?
It just upsets me a little bit.
Fair enough. No, a lot of people say that. A lot of people can't have coffee. But me personally, I need my coffee in the morning. 2 cups of coffee. I take a flask of coffee with me to work every day, mate. And by the end of my day, I've drunken the whole thing.
Probably get through that caffeine, don't you?
I love the coffee, but yeah, you know, that's an insult, mate. Never say that again, yeah?
Wow, you're touchy about the coffee.
Touchy about the coffee, mate. You know, this ain't no tea bag in a cup. This is, I've got coffee grounds here.
Fair trade, I hope.
Don't know, don't care.
What do you mean?
Of course I care, mate. You know, if they're coming from like some Colombian farmer, I want to know that he's getting at least 2 pence on the pound. Oh dear. But hey everyone, thanks for joining us tonight anyway. You're a bunch of legends for tuning in. Do me a favour, chuck a like on this video. And also if you want to give it a share on social media, it would help out a lot. Everybody who's tuning in right now, Twix, Space Raiders, coffee's easier to make. Is it? Put a tea bag in a cup, pour water on it. That's a fucking cup of tea. That's not hard, is it? I suppose it's the same with coffee. Instant coffee
I'm more
anyway.
of a tea man. I like tea. Green tea's good.
Green tea.
If you ever need to lose weight,
yeah.
Not saying anyone does. Alex Rincon in the house with a donation. Let's go buy ourselves some pristine coffee. Yeah.
Alex Rincon, thank you very much. He just sent a super chat for $10 in it, all the way from the States. Thank you very much, Alex. You're a legend. He says, cheers, guys. Always enjoy the show. Set up calls. We 100% should set up calls.
We should do. He keeps asking us to.
We're going to get it done.
It's not good enough, is
Basically,
it? We need to step it up.
Hopefully, end of this month, I should be getting the last couple of months' YouTube payments from you lovely people that have helped out, and also just from like a little bit of ad revenue that we get on these videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy like a sort of an 8-track system and maybe another cheap laptop just to get this podcast a little bit better quality, so we can have Skype phone-ins, so we can have the comments up there, and you know, so the stream's not completely going in and out. It should be much better from next month. But thank you very much for that, Alex Rincon. Alex Rincon, one of these special people that just keeps supporting this podcast. You know what I mean? We've got a big shout out to you, pal.
Have you seen Alex Rincon's video? I think he's got a video on YouTube. I think it's him, and I don't know. I don't think it's a proper video.
Well, you've been doing a bit of research into the Rincon.
Who's the face of Rincon? The little I mean, that's not him, is it? That's like a celebrity or something, or some comedy guy, isn't it? Who is that guy?
I'm guessing that's him, mate.
I don't think
that's him, mate. Guessing that's Alex Rincon, mate.
Please confirm, Mr. Rincon. Do we even say your name right? We seem to add a G sound in it, like Rincon. It might not be that at all.
It could be Rinson.
Rincon? Rinson?
He said, that's not me, that's Tim Heidecker from Tim and Eric. Oh, okay.
There we go. See, I told you. And it's some funny man or something,
some funny geezer.
Someone thinks they're funny.
Stay Clint says, unholster the Holston. He wants you getting pissed off again, mate.
And you're pronouncing my name correct. Fantastic. So we're correct with the Rincon. The Lord of the Rincon. Brilliant.
But yeah, thank you very much for that, pal. Appreciate it a lot. Also, you know, special shout out to the likes of Gungshi and also Alex Rudd. You know, all you guys. Here's Alex Rudd. He said, "What's good?" He actually sent me a tweet earlier saying it was like 1:30 a.m. we were starting in the US. He was going to stay up and drink some coffee anyway. And guess what? Here he is.
Oh, no, so
he's right in
here. Some loyal people out there.
Shauno53 says, "Sup, lads? How's it going, Shauno? Thank you very much." Andrew Medhurst, what about Sanchez? Let's kick it off with Sanchez.
Well, it hasn't quite got over the line yet, has it? It seems like it's a dead cert, isn't it? That Sanchez is going to United. How should we start this topic? Because there's so much to talk about in regards to Sanchez to United. Do we start off talking about whether it's a good signing for United? I think yes. Do we start off by talking about the other clubs interested in Sanchez? Or do we?
Let's just start off with the fact that he is one of the best players in the league, and Arsenal are a bunch of mugs to let this get to this situation. You know, if they were going to get rid of him, if they want to cash in, do it in the summer. They've left themselves with a gaping hole now when Alexis Sanchez goes, and yeah, they might get 40 million, and they might get Mkhitaryan in return. But at the end of the day, it's not exactly plan A, is it, for Arsene Wenger and Arsenal? They could have easily thought about this in the summer, get rid of him then, get Lemar in or somebody else in, and actually do it properly. But again, Arsenal have been found wanting. You know, they're behind the big clubs in terms of their draw in the Champions League, attracting players. So it's not like they're going to go and be able to sign another player like Alexis Sanchez, especially considering the amount of money that they're actually getting.
Do you know the issue that they have at Arsenal? And I've heard this, you know...
multiple issues.
The issue is that they've got with keeping their players is they let their players' contracts run towards the end when it's only a year left, 6 months left. Any other club, any other top club, for sure, has that player in that boardroom or whatever it is,
right.
2 years before the end of that contract, and then they slapping money on them, signing them up. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's it. Arsenal are just afraid to spend. They haven't moved forward in terms of their expenditure. They don't meet the wage salaries as the other clubs have. Nowhere near. Out of the top 6 sides, they've got to be the lowest. I don't know actually 100%. For sure, but I'm guessing they're the lowest, even including Spurs. I reckon Spurs probably spend more on wages than Arsenal do. Their wage bill is probably higher, right? Would you say?
I don't know. Spurs, the way that Spurs...
That's probably a bad example because Spurs are the same.
Spurs' wage bill, their bonus structure is ridiculous. Basically, their basic is not that great. It's like, you know, playing for Spurs is like working for that car dealership that pays you pennies, but once you sold a few Porsches or whatever it is, then you get in the big bones.
And the better you do, the more you get. Yeah.
So it is very much like that. I guess that's why Harry Kane's loving it, because if he's scored more goals than any other European player in the calendar year for 2017, and they've got some ridiculous bonus structure at Spurs, who's to say he hasn't actually made more than some of the other players out there? Maybe they're keeping it stum.
No, you're probably right, mate. Yeah, I don't know what he's on weekly, but certainly if that's the case, the amount of goals, even if he's on like $5,000 a goal, it's a lot when you're scoring that many goals, you know, so fair play to him. But yeah, Arsenal, they don't spend, they don't compete with the big teams in those terms, so keeping Alexis Sanchez nailed down to a team who are not in the Champions League, a club like Arsenal are going to have to pay, and they're just not willing to pay. It's like they spent all this money years ago, you know, since Arsene Wenger's gone in there, they reckon they've added £500 million in value to the club. That's how much extra the club is worth.
As a business, it's brilliant, isn't it?
It's a brilliant business, yeah. And that's all they run it as, it seems. They're not prepared to put their hands in the pockets, pay for their players' wages, to keep them and also attract new ones, and also pay transfer fees. Comparably to the rest of the Premier League and also around Europe, they don't spend. Well, who's their biggest transfer fee? I think it's was it 42.5 million? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's pretty expensive, and at the time it was more.
Lacazette wasn't cheap.
37 or something like that, reasonable amount. But it's not 85 million for Lukaku. It's not 90 million for Pogba. It's not the amount City spent on defenders.
Spurs have never played a silly amount. Are ridiculous as it sounds. I think it's Moussa Sissoko. 30 million. It's our biggest ever signing, which is mad, isn't it? Considering Sissoko, you know, he's done all right this season, but he's
that was recent as well. That's in modern football. I mean, if you compare that to United spending over these seasons, you know, we got Berbatov from you for I think 32.5 million. That was over a decade ago.
Years ago.
You know,
so lads back then.
Exactly. So they don't spend, and that's their big problem of keeping hold of a player like Alexis Sanchez. Not only that, but they're not challenging for anything. It's like if they were right up there for the Premier League trophy this season, maybe Sanchez would stay. I'm sure he's not the most disloyal person. He's been there for years. He's enjoyed his football there. He's always been one of their star players. So I'm sure if he was in a position to challenge with Arsenal, he'd be more up for staying there if they were willing to pay. But I just don't think he's going to get either of those things there.
I think there's an issue with Sanchez and the rest of the Arsenal team to a certain extent, because there was that one game where he scored. He was celebrating. And I think there was only 2 or 3 players max was sort of celebrating with him. The rest of the team literally just watched the goal, didn't really get that excited about it, and just walked the other way. I mean, what the fuck's that about?
And traversely, when there was I forget the game now, but they equalised. What was their recent game where they come back and equalised at the end of the game, losing to somebody they shouldn't have? I forget now. But Alexis Sanchez is like, everyone's celebrating this equaliser late in the last minute of the game. And Alexis Sanchez is like not celebrating. It's always like, let's get the fucking ball and try and get the winner in the last minute of the game.
Yeah.
That's the difference between him and other players. I think he's a great player in terms of how he plays the game, his endeavour, Also, his leadership up there, he's not the most vocal of players, but just in the way he plays, it's like he drags the team forward. So let's just talk about him coming to Manchester United then. For a player like Alexis Sanchez to be somebody we might actually be able to sign, has got to be so excited, because we need that right now. We're away behind City in terms of quality and also getting points in the league. I think we're 12 points behind City right now. So to be able to mount a challenge between now and the end of the season, we need to improve ourselves, because City aren't getting any
optimistic,
worse, are they?
though, isn't it? A bit optimistic still.
But even for next season.
I love the way that you're talking about it, though, isn't it? A player like Sanchez coming to your club is making you talk about it. So it means something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously means something to you.
And even if they are too far ahead this season to be able to catch, at least we've got that player for next year.
Oh, yeah.
It's about building the squad, you know, and bringing in the quality players and getting rid of the players who are not as good, you know. It's sort of like his merry-go-round. We've only just got Mkhitaryan, let's face it. Well, he might be going the other way to Arsenal, but does that make sense? I think it does if you're improving your side. You know, Mkhitaryan's not done it recently. I'd have liked it if he was a success at United, and he still might be if he does stick around. But you know, compared to Alexis Sanchez, there's no choices there. Proven Premier League match-winning world-class player, or Henrik Mkhitaryan, who's absolutely gastastic half the time. You know, probably more than half the time. He's really not done it for us. So disappointed for him. But if the Sanchez deal hinges on Mkhitaryan going the other way, I just hope that Arsenal are actually prepared to offer him a decent enough amount to go there, because he might have to take a small drop in wages, and maybe United might have to match the rest, just be able to get to be able to get him to go. You know, like, why would he want to go to a Europa League team if he's going to get less money? We're going to have to pay some of the remainder of that contract, I bet you, because Arsenal aren't going to be paying.
Oh, yeah, you're going to lose money. Of course you are.
Yeah.
You know, you buy a nice, you know, again, another car reference, but you buy a nice flashy car, a diesel or something, and then it's worth fuck all, isn't it? 6 months later, when people realise it doesn't run that nicely, the family ain't that impressed. Do you know what I'm saying?
You can see he used to be in car sales, can't you? Fucking hell, it's all coming out. Where's your greasy salesman's uniform, mate? Under that coat.
Anyway, back to Alexis Sanchez, right?
Yeah.
So I even said on the last Pig and the Hen show, did I not say that you're going for Ozil and City are going for Sanchez? Where's the talk about Sanchez to United? That's the sort of player you'd be going for. Look what Jose's doing. Look what Manchester United are doing right now. They heard it from me first, didn't they? They were watching the Pig and the Hen show, and they were thinking, to be honest, that Hen fella, he's right, isn't he? Why the fuck are we not looking at Sanchez? Let's put in a bid now. His contract's running out soon. Why were we not looking at this?
That's right. I mean, you phoned up Jose on the blower yourself, didn't you, and told him?
There we
That's
go.
what swayed him.
There we go, exactly. But this is exactly the right sort of signing for you. 100%. Sanchez is an elite player, and that's the sort of player you need. Mkhitaryan going the other way, brilliant make weight. You don't really need him. Arsenal will just take anyone these days because they're losing players that they haven't been able to develop into the players that they wanted, such as Walcott to Everton today.
We'll get onto that shortly. But Walcott,
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, obviously about a month ago or so to Liverpool,
doing well at Liverpool,
doing okay, scored against City,
looking better than when he did at Arsenal.
It's early days, but certainly looking better already.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot.
I think Wenger's just got to go, doesn't he, mate? He's absolutely having a nightmare.
Well,
there.
60% of fans on a Talk Sport, what do you call it? Poll today was saying it was Wenger's fault that Walcott hasn't developed into the player that he should be. 40% was saying it was the player. So, I mean, for me, it's got to be a bit of both, isn't it? If Walcott was really that good, then he would just grind it out and become some brilliant player, regardless of how he's been managed. But on the other side of the coin, if he hasn't been managed well, if he hasn't been embroiled with confidence from the management, you know, played in week out, which he hasn't been, obviously Wenger hasn't thought he's good enough. There's lots of sides to it, isn't there?
No, I mean, a great manager can get more out of a player, can't they? And they can have a big hand in the development of players. I don't think Walcott has developed well at Arsenal, you know, whether that's Arsene Wenger's fault, whether that's Walcott's fault, I think it's probably 50-50. Walcott's one of those players, I mean, what was it, like 16, 17, he was on the plane for the World Cup when Sven-Goran Eriksson was in charge. All that time ago, it's like, who is this guy? I hadn't even played a freaking game in the league at that time. And all of a sudden, a couple of years later, he was on, you know, in there on merit. His pace is unbelievable. He has had games where he's just banged in a hat-trick and looked like the next Gareth Bale or something, just on the right-hand side. But never developed into a consistent player.
Issues about his finishing to a certain extent, his final ball, but in fairness to the lad, he did score 19 goals last season. So that's nothing to be balked at, is it? You know, that is decent. I think Everton have got themselves a fantastic signing there for a club like Everton. I think what Big Sam needs to do is just chuck him straight in his team. Play him week in, week out. Let him have a bit of a dodgy spell. but just try to get, you know, I think if anyone can get the best out of him, someone like Big Sam, brilliant manager.
Good transfer fee for Everton as well. For a player like that, somebody who is well known, who is established in the league. Okay, he's not the best player, but English player as well. That always adds extra money onto a transfer deal. £20 million is a good deal for Everton. I think they've got a good player there. Certainly value for money. We'll see how it goes. I think Big Sam will get more out of him than that Frenchman Arsene.
I mean, I would have even taken him at Tottenham. I would have done, because I think, you know...
What?
Yeah, I would have taken him. Could you think that's crazy?
That's crazy. You want an ex-Arsenal scammer?
Yeah, why not?
You want an ex-Arsenal scammer?
That makes it better, doesn't it? It's brilliant when their players come to us.
Well, not really, because he's not the best player, is he?
Remember Adebayor coming to us? That was brilliant.
If he was that good, then surely they'd keep hold of him. A la Sanchez. Oh, no, wait. They can't keep hold of any fucker at the moment, can they, Arsenal? They're a bunch of mugs.
For a team like Spurs, we just don't really have that much strength on the wings. You know, that pace. We do miss a bit of pace on the wings. We got the wing backs, right? But, yeah, someone like Theo Walcott just adds another dimension. He's a good player.
No, fair enough. I can understand. He's probably good enough for Spurs, to be fair. But not United or any of the top four, you know?
Do you not think so?
I don't. I wouldn't have had him in United side.
You're quite happy to see the back of Mkhitaryan.
See, I am, only if we get Sanchez. It's not like I want Mkhitaryan to go based on his recent performance. He's just not been doing it. He's not good enough. But we all know the player that he can be. In the Bundesliga, his record was brilliant. I know that's a different league, of course. When he first came to United, he looked stunning. First game he played, started, he was unreal. And I just thought this player is going to be the next star player for Manchester United, but it just hasn't panned out that way. Don't know why. Maybe Mourinho hasn't been using him properly, but I think a lot of it comes down to the player, because he has been selected a lot by Mourinho this season. And when he has played, he's always been disappointed, and not just average, we're talking poor. Absolutely poor. So I think his head's gone. I don't know. I just don't think he gives a shit
I think you need to get rid of him. He's a player that I wouldn't want at Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? It just goes to show. I rate Walcott over Mkhitaryan.
That's silly, mate. That's silly.
In some respects,
Mkhitaryan's twice the player than that Theo Walcott.
You need to be able to hit the ground running. And
well, Walcott is a runner. That's what he is. That's all he is. He's a headless chicken. Mkhitaryan's a much more clever player. Going to get you more assists for your teammates. But then that's all debatable, you know. But I think Mkhitaryan would be a good player for Spurs as well. I think he'd definitely get in Spurs' team. No disrespect. I know I'm just talking like, we've got this much better squad. But I think that one player would slot into a lot of the top 6, 7 sides.
Do you think Mkhitaryan
just not Manchester United?
The Spurs
if
side?
we can get
Sanchez, he'd be on the bench for us. I think he'd be on the bench.
Well, fact is, Manchester United are higher in the league.
Dele Alli, Son. You're having a laugh, mate.
Maybe, depending on...
Did you know Son Heung-min, right? He has scored... I don't know if I mentioned this last video or not. Probably not. But he has scored in the last 5 consecutive home games for Tottenham Hotspur.
He's fucking what?
Right?
That's pretty good, yeah.
And that's the last person to do that was Defoe in 2004. Right? What does that tell you?
What happened in those away games?
Well, I don't know.
Fucking none.
No, still something though, isn't it? At Wembley as well, which isn't even their proper home.
Oh, mate, Wigan beating Bournemouth.
I know, mate. Well, that was ages ago. Yeah. Get with the times.
Shit, oh, fuck.
Gotta get with the times. That was 9th minute. Morsey.
Wigan, only 45 minutes ago.
Wigan captain there, is it? With the with that. So Bournemouth are our hometown team. Be nice.
Your hometown team, mate. And it's not your hometown team, mate. Hometown team.
Pool's our
Pool Town, up the Dolphins. All this, you've had your head turned because they're in the Premier League, mate. Oh, anyway, let's go back to Mkhitaryan. So yeah, I think he should just piss off now. If we can get Sanchez, it's a no-brainer. He's a better player. You know, he's going to improve United's side. He's going to improve United's starting 11. He can potentially challenge for more trophies at United than he can at Arsenal, of course. And challenge for as many trophies as going anywhere. Maybe he could at Real Madrid, Barcelona and have more joy. But in terms of just being up there challenging at the very top, he should come to Manchester United. Just talking to him going to Chelsea, what do you think about that?
Well, I think, let's just talk City and United at the moment. Because City were the team that was heavily linked with him. They have been for 6 months or so. For a long, long time. So... You know, for it to suddenly swing in a couple of days in terms of the bookies suddenly saying United are now favourites to sign him, it made me think, well, what's happened here? Obviously, Manchester United have probably made a better offer to Arsenal. I think City were only up for going up to 20 million. Yeah. I think United have come in with what, 35?
I think it's 35 plus Mkhitaryan, which is a hell of an offer.
Right, which is a hell of an offer, right?
Yeah.
I think the wages are higher as well. Because everybody thinks that City pay the highest wages. I don't think they do. I think United pay the highest wages to their top players. Pogba's on silly amounts.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely ridiculous
Rooney
amounts.
Rooney was the highest paid player at the time.
There we go. So Sanchez is probably going for money. And also Sanchez, if he is a proper player that wants to do well, which I think he does, he's got the right sort of attitude most of the time, head down, wants to be a top player and win trophies. You know, he's looking at the United side thinking, decent side, but he can slot straight in there. He gets straight in your team all day long, Sanchez does. The City side, maybe it's going to be a bit more tricky. Maybe not necessarily. Maybe he doesn't want to be known as the guy that just went to City, won the league, and it's like, yeah, but the league was already won. You know, he wants to go to United and just, you know, he can shine at United. He really can.
True, mate. So true. I think that's a big deciding factor in it as well. Plus, now with City pulling out of the deal, it's like even if they came back in for him, he might just be like, well, they didn't really want me. I'm probably not going to play as much. I should go to United, be a real big star for them, and as you say, and still challenge for everything and still get paid the most money. It's a no-brainer for Sanchez as well. My only concern is that Antonio Conte did say he was interested in him, and Chelsea apparently put a late offer in, and okay, people are saying, no, that's bullshit. But if that did happen, you know, he could be swayed to go to Chelsea if they're prepared to pay for him. That's the key here is the money. He's already agreed terms with Manchester United. We're just waiting on Mkhitaryan to agree terms with Arsenal and, you know, cross the T's, dot the I's and all of that stuff. But in terms of actually agreeing personal terms, he has agreed personal terms with Manchester United. So yeah, he's happy to come to the club.
From what I've heard. But I think Chelsea, they might as well put an offer in. Mightn't they? They're thinking, well, everyone else is. They've got the money to do so. He's a sick player. Who wouldn't want him? Why haven't Tottenham done it? Because we know that we can't quite compete with you guys.
Yeah,
wages wise, that's what it is. It's the wages.
I'm surprised more clubs have
wages. Chelsea, United, and City are the only teams. I think Liverpool's wages just aren't quite there either. Not quite there with those three clubs, right? Yeah. So
I would have thought perhaps Real Madrid, Barca, Bayern, PSG might have come in from at this stage.
Well, there we go.
But they haven't.
Maybe it's surprising that they haven't. But another key factor in it is the London thing, and you know, if it shouldn't, well, it should be a factor in Sanchez's decision making, because if he's got his home in London, I don't know if he's got his family in London.
It's a fair point.
To rehome everyone up in Manchester, it is a long way, you know. So that's something else that could play a factor. But I think he's going to go to United.
It's looking likely, isn't it? As a United fan, love to see Sanchez come anyway. He's the sort of player we want. World class. Very skillful, very entertaining, match winner. You can't say good enough things about him. Over the last couple of seasons, he has been the player at Arsenal you've gone, fucking hell, this guy's good, you know. He is good, and he's the reason Arsenal were even up there doing anything. But even with Sanchez in their side, scoring lots of goals and playing the role of like a midfielder and a forward, they still couldn't finish in the Champions League spaces. So he's looking at the players around him, the squad that's getting ever increasingly smaller without quality players coming in the other opposite direction. He's looking at it thinking, God, this is a freaking sinking ship. I better jump off now. He's going to leave at the end of the season on a free. So Arsenal need to get a bit of money from him, perhaps Mkhitaryan or a player in exchange. So I think it's just a deal that suits everybody at the moment. Arsenal will be wanting it to happen because they don't want to lose him for nothing at the end of the season and not get a player of good quality back in the opposite direction. United are desperate because we know that a player like that will be able to add something to our side. It's a cheap offer as well. Like if you were to get Alexis Sanchez when he's got 3 years left on his contract, right now with the climate the way it is, you probably have to pay close to 100 million for that. Whereas we can get him for 30 million and some prick Armenian gash-tastic player who's not even very good at all going in the other direction.
Well, there we go. I don't want him at Spurs. I told you. But I mean, for me,
you'd have him at Spurs, mate.
I mean, for me, there is for you United to have the correct transfer window. You need to get Sanchez, which seems like it's happening, and there is one other special player out there that you need to be signing, and that would impress me. That would impress me from Jose. That would impress me from Manchester United if it was to be announced that Cristiano Ronaldo was to come back to United. Now, I know that is just a complete rumour. They talk about this every single transfer window. Yeah. Of course they do. But Zidane is teetering on potentially. They're talking about maybe Zidane losing his job.
He's having a bad time.
He's won 2 Champions Leagues in a row. I mean, that is mad, isn't it?
There's no excuses this season.
But
though.
You know what it's like. It's results business, isn't it? And Zidane could go. Ronaldo could think, well, can I be fucked with another manager at Real Madrid? I've won my trophies here. You know, love the Jose. Put the Portuguese link up again. You Definitely. Know what I mean?
That's probably Ronaldo's most successful
and
period.
United
when
can
Real Madrid
afford him.
Jose.
Can afford him if you really dig into them deep red devil pockets of yours, then you've got the cash there, haven't you? Let's be honest.
And if he is going to go anywhere other than Real Madrid, the club that was his boyhood club, supposedly, the club he wants to play for the most, if he is to go anywhere after his really successful spell at Madrid, it would be back to Manchester United, I would imagine, especially in the Premier League. If he's not going to go to PSG and take the money or whatever, he'll be signing for Manchester United. Whether that's now, this season, next season, season after, or never, remains to be seen. But as a United fan, would you take Cristiano Ronaldo? 100% you'd take him. He's still got a couple of years left at the very top level, and then even a couple of years after that, where he's still going to be one of the best players in the
I did see a comment,
squad.
Someone saying he's past it, but I don't know about that. I don't know about
it's
that.
just
He's still a brilliant player, 100%.
How can it be that
his record
few months ago,
season on season is absolutely fantastic? He's right up there with the likes of Harry Kane. I mean, that is saying something, isn't it? It really is.
He's one of the best players ever.
Imagine it. Ronaldo, Pogba, Sanchez, Ibra, maybe a few years younger.
Yeah, Martial,
You know,
Rashford, backing him up. It's scary. That would be an amazing team.
You do it starts to make you think you got a special team there. You should have signed Van Dijk as well, I reckon. Just get another centre back in.
I don't rate him as highly as most people. I know Liverpool paid
fantastic player.
They paid all that money for him.
Liverpool scare me. I think Liverpool finished top 4 now. I think Chelsea
Chelsea
are more likely to drop out of top 4 than Liverpool for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be tough for Spurs this season. Sorry to keep talking about my beloved Spurs.
Nobody wants to hear it, mate.
It's got to be.
Hey, if there's any Spurs fans in these chat in the comments section right now who tune into these videos, maybe they just tune in for you, mate, to get the Spurs, reaction and all that sort of thing. But if there is any, get your comments in below. I bet there's none. You know why? Because nobody gives a shit about Spurs.
Bit harsh, mate. Bit harsh.
Bit harsh, but yeah, you do like to talk a lot about Spurs.
Harper Holt says, "Turn the heating on, pig. Chicken is freezing."
Are you cold, mate?
I'm the hen. I'm not the chicken. I know it's the same thing, but still. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's basically it, mate. You're always, from now on, you're going to be called the cock, the chicken, the rooster.
Call me what you want, North Korean dictator, whatever it is, you know.
Nobody's calling you that, mate.
I did read one of them earlier, actually.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, you bastards coming on here.
Problem is, you need to get the
problem is, mate, there's something about the swipe over hair. It's not so bad now you've actually let the sides grow.
It's getting a bit long though. I need to get rid of the sides again.
Thing is, if you get rid of the sides, then it's proper Kim Jong-un.
But it's Toby Alderweireld. I know
if you go back a few podcasts when he just had the fresh trim, it was like, fucking hell, I'm actually sat next to the fearless leader, mate. Is he going to put me in a pit with dogs and have them rip me apart to get information out of me? That's the sort of thing he does. Oh dear. Have you seen all this banter between him and Trump at the moment about the red button, the big red button? My button's bigger than your fucking button. It's always on my desk. What's the matter with these twats? These guys are in charge of crazy resources, crazy military. Both of these people, especially Trump, of course. And they're just having penis measuring contests over the internet. Well, and guess what? Both their penises are tiny.
Well, probably, yeah.
That's the problem with it.
I mean, Trump has been told by his medical advisors that he needs to lose weight. That's funny, isn't it? Just to cut out the cheese.
He's got a medical advisor told him to lose weight. I could have fucking told him that.
I know.
I mean, Trump,
give me that medical advisor salary, you can't.
You need to lose weight, pal. Get on a diet. Also, maybe a bit of hair dye just for men wouldn't come in. It wouldn't hurt you fucking ginge. Sorry, any ginger people watching. But no, if Trump needs to lose weight and he's an elderly president of the United States, fucking hell, what do I need to do? Do you know what I mean? I've got a bit of timber.
Which takes me back to green tea. I was mentioning earlier, which is brilliant for weight loss. It is.
It is, yeah.
You drink a good bit of green tea every day. It increases your metabolism. What you need to do is you need to get out of bed, right? Have a quick shower, whatever it is, sort yourself out, have a shit, etc. Right? And then if you got the time, if you got the luxury to be able to afford just concentrating on your body and your diet and your exercise, etc., you don't have to work, you don't have any kids, no responsibilities. Lucky you if you exist out there, right? Then you just have a nice little healthy meal, wait about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then do a semi-intensive run, right? I'm not getting you following out there, so PT stuff.
Yeah, you should set up a little person training.
And what you want to do is you want to do stair running, right? This is brilliant for you. I did this back in the day because I used to be a bit more chunky. I'm not saying I'm not chunky now, but I was slimmer than this at one point, right? But anyway, you run up the stairs, yeah? Run up the stairs as fast as you can, okay? Then you walk down the stairs. Let your heart slow down a little bit. You don't want to be running downstairs because there's too much strain on your knees, right? And then you run up again, walk down, run up again, walk down. Okay.
Oh, mate, come on.
listening to music, listen to tracks, right? 4 tracks, 5 tracks, something like that. So that's a good 20 minutes worth of just putting that pressure on your heart and then relaxing. That gets your metabolism going crazy for the whole day because you just got your body going real early like that. Eat 5 meals a day, keeps your metabolism going. Lots of green tea, lots of chili, right? You'll see that weight drop right off. So basically, bit of weights as well. Get your muscle up a little bit because that burns calories that little bit quicker.
So basically, your exercise regime that they're telling people to do is just do some cardio.
No,
that's basically what you said.
No, not at all. Not
at all. No. You could go for a jog.
No, you missed my point. You completely missed my point.
You're talking about interval training, mate, basically, where you go intense and then you cool off, and then you go intense. That's got a name. I think it's like interval training or something.
Well, whatever it is, but that's the one to do.
Okay, why is that the one to do, though?
Because
I have heard that if you get into the fat burning zone, then you burn more for longer. So, i.e., you get your heart rate to about 120, 130 beats a minute, and you just sit there for as long as possible, and your body burns fat.
It's not about the calories that you're burning whilst you're exercising. What it is about doing a type of exercise that's going to increase your metabolism, which means that you lose more calories during the day anyway.
Should definitely do weights.
That's the point. That
definitely do weights.
And I was getting onto that. Weights as well. Get all your muscles built up a little bit. That'll burn calories even quicker.
Did you do weights?
Right, I did do weights.
What weights did you do?
You know, like
waiting in the post office, waiting in the supermarket queue. You did no fucking weights, did you?
Wigan has scored again, 73rd minute burn. Looks like Bournemouth are out of the FA Cup. I think Wigan go on to play Newport County in the next game in the 4th round.
Whoa, Gunshi is in the house.
I did see, sorry Gunshi, because I was in mid-speech about my exercise regime, etc. I'm so sorry. Massive donation. Thank you so much, Gunshi. Always massively appreciated.
Thank you very much for tuning in and always supporting this channel.
One day we could be making a living out of this, couldn't we?
Well, if we get a few more legends like Gunshi sending us super chats every single week, you hero. He's got a little comment that goes along with it. Thank you so much, Gunshi. It says, green tea is brilliant. Nice Parker, Henry. That's a compliment to you, mate. He's complimented you there.
He said about your jumper.
Nice jumper, pig. Thank you, Gunshi.
If you're saying that's nice, then you got no taste, isn't it, Gunshi? Let's be honest.
Now you mention it, you've always rocked the Parker, mate. Ever since I've known you, you've always had different Parkers.
Hoodies.
It's like, are you stuck in the 1960s?
I've got bomber jackets. I've got all sorts.
Do you have a Lambretta scooter? What are you doing?
What are you on about, mate?
Always rocking the Parker, mate. Every single time. What coats everywhere? And guess what? It'll be a fucking Parker. Don't know what colour.
You're wrong, mate. I've got lots of different jackets. Maybe I'll wear a Parker around here.
Got one duffel coat and 6 Parkers. There's nothing wrong with that, mate. Don't be ashamed.
Don't touch me. Don't touch the
Don't touch the Parker. Sorry, it's prized possession to you, is it? But yeah, no, this jumper is all right, Gunshi. Thank you for noticing.
I don't think we've spoken enough about the FA Cup tonight at all. Because
this
is FA Cup. We've got live football on the go. We haven't even mentioned the teams, nothing apart from a bit of Wigan and Bournemouth. So here we go. Let's go through. We got live games up. Chelsea and Norwich started late, so they're running a little bit behind the other games. Chelsea have scored. Let's see who scored. It was Batshuayi on the 55th minute. That's the hot water bottle man. Remember, he's not so favoured by Chelsea. He's not so favoured by Chelsea.
No, I've heard Chelsea are actually in the market to potentially sign Andy Carroll.
A couple of dollars, thank you so much.
Alex Rudd, couple of dollars. He says Henry the Mod. There you go.
So you're the rocker, I'm the mod then.
That's it. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that all day long. Used to have a motorbike, like a bit of leather.
But Batshuayi, he's not favoured. Morata is kind of, well, he started off all right, but people have said he's no Diego Costa, is he? Let's be honest. And Chelsea have been linked with, and it's a surprising one, it's almost laughable. But is it? Is it? When you think about it, it's laughable at first. It is.
I've already said this, mate. I said this 2 minutes ago. You obviously didn't hear.
Oh, did I not? Was I not listening?
No, you weren't listening. Thanks very much for that.
Sorry.
Yeah,
what did you say about it then? Boring.
I just said he was a fucking pirate and he's fresh off Pirates of the Caribbean 5 or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He does look like that. Give him a bandana, stick a parrot on his shoulder. Fucking Long John Silver, isn't he?
Would that be a good shout for Chelsea, do you think?
Potentially, it gives them a different option, doesn't it? They need a big, strong lad up top, bring on later games. Batshuayi is obviously not in favour, like you said, even though he scored tonight. Because if they were that confident in Batshuayi, they wouldn't sign Andy Carroll.
Half the time they don't even, use him. They don't even bring him on when they need to bring a striker on. It's basically just like, taking a piss in the wind, and the wind's blowing the piss towards him. With Costa in it sometimes. Diego
we've got a new donator in the house. What?
Glenn Ryan.
Glenn Ryan in the house.
Ryan, your surname has reminded me of someone with that first name who's been in the news lately, because Ryan Giggs has got the Wales job. Yeah? Yeah. Ryan Giggs finally got his big job that you have been on about for ages. Why don't they give it to Giggs? West Brom looking for a manager. Crystal Palace looking for a manager. Leicester City looking for a manager. Giggs just said, yeah, I'm available for all of them. Yeah, whichever one you want to give me, I'll have it. He's got his job. Are you happy now?
I'm fucking happy now. You obviously didn't watch my last video then, did you, mate?
Oh, no, I didn't know.
I covered all of this. He's giving it the big and now like I haven't said shit about it. I've already talked all about this, but let's do it again. Fine.
Yeah,
fine, mate. So he was waiting for a good job, a top job, not necessarily a top job, but in the top league of England there, the Premier League. He's got the experience as a player, one of the very best players, worked under the best manager ever for over 20 years. How is that not experience? It makes me laugh. Look at what Zidane did after being given the Real Madrid job. I know I keep going on about it. Pep Guardiola was given opportunities. He didn't have to go manage fucking Levante and take them up and do something good with them. He was given the opportunities. Giggsy has the experience. He has the tactical ability. He was a very intelligent player. You know, showed that in the latter years.
No one disagrees.
Yeah, well, hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying here then. The reason he deserved the job in the Premier League managing is because of that. You know, okay, yeah, you can go and get this foreign prick, Puel or whoever the fuck. Why are these people ahead?
Who else doing bloody brilliant?
I know, but what I'm saying is...
Do you think Giggsy would be doing the same with Leicester right now?
Stop interrupting. I'm saying, how do you know that unless he's considered fucking
sure
opportunity?
He just wouldn't be.
Bullshit, mate.
You say your piece, I'll say mine in a bit.
Yeah, I'll say my piece.
Looking forward to it as well.
Ryan Giggs deserves a good job, and I think he's got that now. Wales taken over from Chris Coleman there. They didn't qualify for the World Cup, so it's a good time to make that transition. Coleman, incidentally, has gone to Sunderland in the fucking Championship, right?
He certainly has.
So that goes to show you the level, perhaps, at which the Wales job is. What suits Ryan Giggs about the Wales job is he has a couple of world-class players to play for, at least one, and maybe Aaron Ramsey, you could say, is really good as well. Joanne and a couple of other average mugs. But a decent team. He could get them qualified for the European Championship. Obviously, easier to get qualified for that than it is the World Cup. So... oh, shit. So I think that is a great move for Ryan Giggs because nobody's given him the job. It's like Swansea came available, Welsh team, need a manager, need somebody with the progressive thinking, different sort of mentality. Could have been really good for Swansea. They weren't prepared to do it. Crystal Palace, you know, all these teams weren't prepared to give Giggsy a chance, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. But Wales, the FA... has given him the job. I think that's a great move for them because they've got somebody who is an ambassador for the country. He used to be the equivalent of Gareth Bale back in the day for Wales. Obviously not in major tournaments. They never got there. Giggsy, it's a travesty he never played in like a World Cup or European Championships or something like that. Didn't happen for him, but he was Wales' star player. He was the equivalent. He can get the best out of Bale. He can get the best out of the other players in the team. I'm sure of that. I think he's very good tactically, and you'll see that. But either way, it's a great stepping stone for him. I think he signed a 4-year deal, so potentially covers the qualification of the European Championships and the next World Cup in Qatar. So that's 4 years to show the world what he can do, to show the Premier League teams what he can do. If he gets them qualified for the European Championships, you can't say that that is anything less than a good achievement. For Wales to get anywhere is a good achievement, you know? So it's a great opportunity for Giggsy. Not only that, he's not in there working day in, day out, every single day with these players, with this team. He can do it on a sort of part-time basis, and that's going to suit him down to the ground. It's a nice way to ease yourself into football management, and I'm happy for the lad anyway. Go on then, say your piece.
Are you finished?
Go on.
Jeez.
No, wait, I'm not finished. Actually, hang on, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
Well, let's just finish it.
Just let me finish.
You said you're finished.
Let me finish,
mate. You said you're finished. Just let
me finish, mate. Just let me finish.
Just let me finish. You said you're finished.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Oh, serious?
Let me finish. Okay, I'm finished.
Really? Leave me on that?
Come on. You say your
trouble
piece.
is with you is sometimes you just go on and on and on, and I'm already thinking about, right, let's make sure I remember what I'm going to talk about next. Let's make sure I remember what I'm going to talk about next. And I get to the stage I'm thinking, fuck, I've forgotten. I've fucking forgotten what I was going to talk about because you're still going on.
Yeah? I like to keep you on your toes, mate. You know what I mean? Come on.
Right, let's
Where's
just
say?
reel the brain back to where I was, right? So,
Giggsy.
Coleman, you just said, right, that he went to Sunderland. You said, yeah, kind of level playing sort of job. That's the sort of job that Coleman potentially should have been looking at. Yeah. People out in the media were saying that he could be looking at Premier League jobs, but obviously didn't get any Premier League job. He's at Sunderland. He's sort of done all right when he first went in there, but they are still very much struggling, right at the foot of the table there in the Championship. So time will tell how he does. Anyway, enough about Chris Coleman. Giggsy at Wales, for me, that's
fucking great point there, isn't it?
Shut your mouth.
Just some totally pointless waffle about Chris Coleman anyway. Enough about that prick. We weren't talking about that fucking prick, mate. I mentioned him once.
I diverse. That's, that's part of the colour and the aesthetic qualities of my broadcasting, of what I chat about, okay?
Yeah.
So, Giggsy, for me, completely correct appointment. Let's be honest, best player that Wales has ever had, bar maybe Gareth Bale. But I think Giggsy, you got to give it to Giggsy.
It's not even close, is it?
You got to give it to Giggsy, from what he's done. 100%.
Well, from a Wales point of view, you probably got to give it to Bale for what he did in the European Championships. But in footballing terms,
greatest player Wales has ever had. I think you could say that.
I don't know how many Champions Leagues Gareth Bale won. It's like, and La Ligas and stuff. He's up there now. He's fucking up there now, but he's not 13 Premier League winners' medals, is he?
Giggsy managed his fitness a lot better. Bale's injured all the time. Giggsy, he knew that he wasn't the strongest. He knew that he didn't have the constitution of some players that could just keep going on and on and on. And he managed it very well. That's why he didn't play in some of those friendlies. That's why he sat out here and there. Alex Ferguson had it all completely under control. Giggsy actually had psychological counselling, right, as did some of the other players when they actually left United because of all those years under Fergie. It just goes to show. I mean, I'm not saying they don't like Fergie, but Fergie's still a head fuck, right? I'm sure he is. That's how good he is. He has to be a head fuck for the players to make them the greatest ever. Yeah?
Yeah, I'll go for that, mate. Yeah.
Anyway, I think I divulged again. So what I'm saying... Oh, another little £5 there for the English money as well. I appreciate that. I like that.
Griffo Chaz has just sent it. Sorry to interrupt you there, mate. Griffo Chaz has just sent it.
I want to be a part of these amazing videos. It's a bit scary though, isn't it?
That's a bit scary, Griffo Chaz, but thank you very much, pal.
Could be, couldn't it?
Maybe send us a tweet on Twitter or something. DM me so I make sure you're not a complete psycho.
Griffo Chaz. Chaz is Charlie in it. Might know him. Charlie Griffin.
Charlie Griffin,
mate.
Fucking Charlie Griffin.
He's Nick his lunch. Come round, mate.
Not that mug. No, just kidding, mate. Thank you so much for the super chat there, though, mate. And you never know. That's kind of freaky because you just might see us out and about now, just accost us.
I know, and then just shout out, "Oi, pig!"
I know, and I'll go, "Don't call my missus that." Because she's not. She's a very beautiful woman. But anyway, Jack and Brad Gaming in the house with a £2 donation. You fucking
Thank you very much.
These people are supporting the podcast hard tonight. Seriously, I just want to say thank you to everybody who does do that because that's actual money. We don't make this videos for that. We just make it to talk.
It's very much appreciated. This show needs to be getting better.
That's fucking crazy, man. People donating money left, right, and centre.
Igloo and into a proper studio.
Jack and Brad Gaming. I'm guessing that's a gaming channel. By Jack and Brad. They say first to get relegated, Arsenal or Spurs.
Oh, well, that's going to be... I don't think we're going to live...
Ever.
That probably won't be in our lifetime. I don't know how old you are out there, but, probably won't happen in our lifetime. But, maybe when we're old or something. That'd be shit, wouldn't it?
That would be shit.
Hopefully not. Let's not talk about that. Actually, Arsenal, let's talk about them going down. Yeah, one day. Next season, mate. I'd love it.
I wonder when the last time... Maybe you could find out the last time that either Arsenal or Spurs were in the second division in the English League. I bet it was probably Spurs there, but it was Spurs.
Hundreds of years ago.
Ahmed Zidane says, Arsenal have never been relegated. Are you talking about from the Premier League or the Football League in general, right back to the 1800s? Who knows? But
you may be right there.
You might be right, yeah.
Be right.
I'll tell you who's conceded the most Premier League goals since the Premier League's inception, though. Do you know who that is?
Everton?
No. It's fucking Tottenham Hotspur. They've conceded the most goals out of any team since the Premier League's inception. That's how shit they are.
Fuck off with bullshit stats.
Which is quite remarkable, actually.
Because that must be true, but anyway,
it's true. But they finish like top 6, top 7 every year, so they score a lot of goals, obviously. They just shit
It's an entertaining team to support, let's be honest. That's the truth of it. But Giggsy did not deserve a Premier League spot. Do you know what I mean? This is what Wales differ. I think for me, Wales is the right job. If you think he should have gone into a Premier League job, then why are you saying you're happy for him at Wales? You should be saying, well, actually, no, I think he should have got a better job.
No, that's a good job. The Wales job's a good job. Fresh off a really good performance in the European Championships. He's got Bale. If you've got Bale inside, you've got a chance.
That's good.
Got Aaron Ramsey.
Teams, this is what I was trying to say earlier when you kept waffling. Right, Premier League teams, when they sack a manager and they need a new manager, it's usually for a reason. Do you know what that reason usually is? It's because they're scared of going down, isn't it? Going down to the Championship, right? Giggsy would never be the right appointment for a team in that situation. It's like Alan Shearer going to Newcastle when Newcastle was struggling and they went down.
That's totally different.
Why is that different? Alan Shearer's a legend.
That's like Giggsy being the caretaker manager for 4 or 5 games after Moisey went. That's what happened with Alan Shearer, basically. I think he had 8 games or something at the end.
Okay, so it's not quite the same,
it's like
it?
that.
It's not quite the same, but...
Guess what? Giggsy didn't get fucking relegated.
Newcastle went down. You know what I mean? When teams are changing their manager, they want that Roy Hodgson or whoever it is that's going to keep them up. Simple as that.
Okay. Glenn Ryan, like, share, subscribe. You legends, this channel is fire. You're an absolute hero, man. Thank you very much for your comment there. And he's right. If you're new around here, click the subscribe button, chuck a like on this video, it'd be much appreciated.
I'm running out of battery. Can I charge up on mine?
You can't, mate. No, I've only got one power cube down here, buddy.
Who cares about your yellow?
No, that's an Android charger, mate.
Oh,
you're screwed, mate. Oh, hang on. No, I have got a iPhone one here, mate. Yeah, you're in luck here, mate.
We need this.
I just don't have the other power brick.
We need to be able to get the FA Cup scores here. We were hoping that we'd be able to get a bit of extra time this evening because we got games that are, a couple of games in the 90th minute now.
Why were we hoping for extra time, mate? I don't want to waffle on any more necessary than this,
Oh, you just hate football, don't you? You hate football.
Well, I don't really give a shit about these FA Cup results, mate, to be fair.
I do. I care about all football.
We're doing this show right now, this Pigcast show. It's got FA Cup. What are we talking about?
About what there's live football going on right now. We're live on the show.
Do you know
we talk about sport.
Do you know what you've said so far?
What have I said?
Bournemouth for losing 2-0 to Wigan. That's all you've said about the FA Cup.
Because we haven't had a chance, because you keep going on and on.
Talk about the FA Cup, you punts.
Right, well, get my charger ready, yeah?
It's not your charger.
Hurry up about it.
It's not your charger, is it, mate? There you go.
Wigan Athletic now winning 3-0 against Bournemouth. Sunny side Bournemouth, obviously not so sunny to... What you did? Give me the bloody charger. Are you serious?
The oldest trick in the book.
Serious?
It's good fun.
I think you're funny, don't you? So, yeah, Elder with a goal. Don't know these players.
3-0. Wigan beating Bournemouth 3-0.
It's not even Championship Wigan, is it? It's League One Wigan.
Right. Wow, that's crazy.
Fair play to them. Fair play to them. 11 shots to Bournemouth's 13, but 6 on target with slightly more possession.
What team are Bournemouth playing?
Do
they give a shit about the FA Cup at this stage? They have got a fight on their hands.
They got a
in the Premier League.
They got Arter playing. Cook, Daniels, Fraser at the back, Boric.
Fair enough, they've got a decent side out. That's a shocker for Bournemouth.
So a bit of shit for Bournemouth have been very up and down this season. They beat Arsenal the other day. Well done to Bournemouth for beating Arsenal. But they're still far from safe in terms of relegation. Any team could go down this season. So it's full time. Swansea and Wolves. Swansea obviously. Even though they're bottom of the Premier League and Wolves are at the top of the Championship, just going to show their Premier League pedigree, perhaps. Interesting one. Wolves kind of favourites in some ways originally for that time.
To show the Mayor Bournemouth are having even more.
Have been doing.
Can't believe they're losing 3-0 to Wigan, mate. It's mad.
Well, that's it. So Bournemouth are out. So Chelsea obviously winning. Batshuayi just the final goal. Who knows? Maybe Norwich could be an equaliser. We can have a bit of extra time this evening.
They probably overexerted themselves in that game, of course, against Arsenal. Get in there. Bournemouth, what result that is? I bet you must have been loving it.
Absolutely loving it. What I wasn't loving, and a game that we do need to talk about, was the Liverpool-Manchester City game. That was a massive game. It was the sort of game where I thought, fuck, why were we not doing a live Pig and the Hen show during that game? Because despite the fact it's not Tottenham Hotspur, despite the fact it's not Manchester United,
huge
game of the season, wasn't it, in many respects? 4-3, City not going to be able to be the Invincibles this season. And Liverpool showing what they're about without Coutinho, who's another massive transfer.
It was a very impressive display by Liverpool. You have to give it to those Scouse breaks. Jurgen Klopp doesn't give a shit, does he? He goes for it. He presses high, presses hard, doesn't give you a moment's peace. And City just couldn't deal with it. Liverpool 4-1 up at one stage. It was a battering. And then, of course, they did the classic Scouse thing and almost melted. Almost did the old slippy G at the end there and gave the lead away. But fortunately for them, they managed to hang on. But yeah, I was so impressed with just the way they did it, considering their best player, Coutinho's just gone. That was amazing. But they've got Salah,
great
Mane,
game. Oxlade Chamberlain.
Yeah, what a finish, Salah, unbelievable. They have got some really exciting attacking players.
I was pissed off. I mean, I was obviously happy to see such a brilliant game, but I wanted Liverpool to lose because Spurs would have gone fourth. Right, talking about Tottenham again. Spurs would have gone fourth if Liverpool had lost by any margin, even if it was 1-0, because our goal difference was so similar there. So it annoys me, but it just goes to show, I think, Klopp, I've always banged up on about Klopp since we started the show. Basically, everything that I say about football is true. My predictions are always correct, pretty much, aren't they?
It's not very hard prediction to say one of the best young exciting managers is going to be one of the best managers. That's not a very hard prediction, is it?
Yeah, but
if you just said If you'd have said Alan Pardew's going to win the Champions League and it happened, then I'd say, oh, fair enough, mate. You know your shit.
I never said that. I think West Brom
you said Jurgen Klopp, a man
Pardew and West Brom are right
down
down there.
Dortmund to 2 Champions League finals. You're saying, oh, he's going to be a success in the Premier League. Of course he fucking is.
My
He's
3
clearly
teams
one
to
of the best
go
managers
down were
around.
Swansea, West Brom and Southampton. Look who's in the bottom 3. I know it's Stoke instead of Southampton.
You're just choosing who's in the bottom 3, mate.
No, I'm not.
Who's going to go down? Oh, the current bottom 3.
It wasn't the current bottom 3. Southampton were up in like 13th when I said they're going down. Now look where they are. 17th.
Right, okay, do you want to make a bet, mate? £20 right now. I bet the bottom 3 right now is not the bottom 3 at the end of the season. You want to fucking shake my hand, mate? Do you want to shake my hand? Do you want to back up? You see, he doesn't have faith in his own fucking predictions.
But I don't
his predictions are bullshit.
My predictions. Do you know what I mean? My predictions are just honest predictions.
I put it out there.
Put money on them and spoil the predictions.
I was going to hustle in for £20 there as well.
Like a piece of shit in an expensive glass of wine. You would not want to do that to a prediction.
Some people might do.
Some shameful kind of small wager on such a motive. How dare you?
You're full of shit, mate. You just established you're full of shit there. Glenn Ryan with a super chat in the house. He says, want the hen to get held captive in Pig's basement.
That's a bit... What, is he paying for that? Was that after a donation?
He's talking about some Joseph Fritzl action. What the fuck is that about, mate? You got some issues, Glenn, but thank you for the £2.
Just up the price. I'll do anything.
If you want to see Henry locked in some stocks in a room, don't have a basement, but in a room, a.k.a. prison cell.
Nothing on but Parker.
£100. But you're Parker. Fucking hell. Anyway, what are we talking about, mate? You throw me off there with that Fritzl chat.
Well, we're talking FA Cup. Unfortunately, it looks like that Chelsea game is the only game remaining. Full time on the others. So, I know what you mean. There's nothing too much to get excited about. It's just FA Cup replays. Why the fuck didn't they have them all wrapped up in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Because it was obviously boring as shit first time over. It ain't going to be much more exciting now, is it? No, I'm joking. I heard an amazing stat. I love the FA Cup. I heard an amazing stat today, right? This is an amazing stat. And I'm going to ask you the question, right? Who gets the most annual attendance, right, out of these leagues? I'm going to tell you, okay? La Liga. Serie A. Championship. Which of those 3 leagues gets the most attendance?
You telling me La Liga gets less than the Championship? It must be the Championship then if you're asking the question like this.
It is the Championship.
You fucking what?
That's true. The Championship gets more attendance than La Liga.
No way.
That is
on
a true
average.
Stat. In terms of millions of people going.
That's unbelievable, mate. That is unbelievable.
It just goes to show how... Did you know League One of our country is actually the 9th most attended league in Europe?
Wow.
Right? That is messed up, isn't
football
it?
fans
We love football, don't we? We absolutely love it, don't we? We love it.
Wait, that's an interesting stat you come out with there. Fair play to you, man. I like that. I like that a lot. La Liga.
TalkSport tends to be my main source of information there.
But when you think about it, though, I don't think in terms of capacity, other than Real Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, I think I've got quite a big stadium. Maybe Villarreal, but they're all like low 20,000s, if not lower. Whereas a lot of championships, like look at Leeds, you know, Ellen Road, fucking 30-odd thousand, you know. When Newcastle were in there, you know, Sunderland, there's a lot of
massive clubs. Look at clubs like Coventry City in League 2. Notts County down there somewhere. These are massive clubs with massive tradition that have won trophies back in the day. That you've got this heritage that you don't see that in the lower leagues in Spain and in Italy and
places like Sheffield, you know, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday when they were in League One. It's like they've both got like 20-odd thousand seated stadiums. They've both got real good support throughout their cities. You know, so yeah, I can believe that, man. I think that's true.
All of our teams just seem to have the ability to be able to climb up the tables and go down them, and you've seen that over the centuries. You know, the giants like Leeds.
It's funny. You're so right, mate. There's some teams that have gone down, you know, who've been stalwarts in the Premier League for a long time. Look at Blackburn. Blackburn. If you'd have said Blackburn would be in League One or the Championship,
you could blame the Venkies for
totally
that.
blame those chicken farmers, 100%. But you know, if you'd have said Blackburn wouldn't be in the Premier League now, or, you know, they're a shit team these days, aren't they? Just a short while ago, you'd have been like, don't be silly, mate. You know, when they had Roque Santa Cruz and all these players, and Alan Shearer, and when they won the Premier League, they actually won the Premier League. A team who have won the Premier League are no longer in the Premier League, and are not looking anywhere near the Premier League.
Mark Hughes, 9th place finish, Blackburn Rovers. I remember back in the day. Sparky.
There you go. So, Yeah, that's crazy, mate. But yeah, with some huge football clubs in England, and you're right, a lot of teams have the infrastructure that if they did get back into the Premier League, then they're just going to stick around, aren't they? They could easily stick around. If a team like Bournemouth can do it, then certainly a club like Sheffield United or someone like that, if they got promoted to the Premier League, they could stay in the Premier League for a number of years. That's just how it is. These clubs have got the foundations. They're big clubs with big support. That's only going to improve when they get up there. So, yeah, man. Good shit.
Yeah, very much so.
Good stat. I love it.
So, should we have a little comment section, see what people have got to say out
Crikey,
there?
coming up to an hour here.
Missed out that we've spoken about today. I'm looking at our little board, our secret little board. What are you written here? Hawaii nuclear scare. No, that was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, the Hawaii nuclear scare. Sorry, mate, I was just reading some comments there. Yeah, that's fucked up. So basically, people just relaxing in Honolulu, you know, Maui, these sorts of places, having a good old
Wearing
time.
their Hawaiian shirt, drinking their pina colada. What else is stereotypical Hawaiian?
Grass skirts.
You know, you got a calendar,
flower necklace,
Nicole Scherzinger or whatever. You know, in different positions.
Is she Hawaiian? Is she?
Believe so. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind shirts and herring, huh? Don't even know what that means. Mrs. probably watching this, right, babe? So basically, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. There's a nuclear.
Sorry, I was distracting you with women, wasn't I? Back to the disaster story.
There was a missile attack apparently, which was announced across all of the media in Hawaii. And also, I think people were getting people
got text messages.
On their phone just popped up.
Like if we were sitting
Take cover.
maybe we
Missile
were
cover.
in Hawaii at the time. That's why we're in a fucking missile silo right now, aren't we?
In a bomb shelter.
In a bomb shelter. Because we got the text, don't we? Tell us if it's safe to come out. We're sat in Hawaii, Honolulu.
We haven't had any signal for ages.
Scherzinger in the back room. Loving it. But yeah, fucking hell. If you got a text message through, you'd shit yourself, wouldn't you?
You would shit.
What would we do right now if we got a text, Her Majesty's whatever,
38 minutes to impact.
MI5. This is not a drill, etc.
Yeah. Mate, I don't know.
Scary,
it would be scary, wouldn't it? I think
I hope nobody hurt themselves or did anything silly and fucking jumped off a cliff.
Sorry about that.
So basically, we got this mug of a friend that phones, and it's the same old. He always does the same thing every time. It really fucks me off, all right? Because it's like he's like, "All right, mate," and we're like, "Yeah, we're in the middle of a video. We sort of have to cut you off right now." He's like, "What?" Every time. Why not just fucking listen first time round? It pisses me off, mate. It does.
Totally agree. So that's basically why we got cut off there. Apologies about that. I'm going to give him a slap next time I see him. You know, he should know Wednesday night, Pigcast night, Pig in the Hen show. What's he doing phoning at this stage? It's unacceptable.
Completely wrong.
I think we'll give him a bracket.
What are we talking about? He's interrupting our flow.
We were talking about nuclear strikes and what we would do. Anyway, fuck this morbid conversation. But yeah, freaky. If you were in Hawaii and you're just on holiday or you live there or whatever, you get a message through on your phone saying there's a missile headed your way, take cover, basically. You're going to shit it, aren't you? I think either I do one of two things. I just gather all my loved ones together, try and enjoy the last half an hour. Maybe might not even necessarily tell the people that don't know about it and just go on as normal. Or I'd go out fucking looting.
But that's all you could not the looting, but that's all you can really do, isn't it? Just spend the final time with your loved ones. The one that really gets me, and the one that sometimes I like to go to bed at night thinking about this. This is mad, right? This is mad, but zombie apocalypse. Right, because I'm a big Walking Dead fan. Love the show. Don't know if we got any other Walking Dead. I know Glenn dying. Sorry, spoiler alert there. But that was horrific. It almost made me want to stop watching the show. But I think it's still a brilliant show, right? But you know, yeah. If you just suddenly found out, you sort of knew, your mate phones you, said, "I'm not being funny." Like let's say the pig here phones me, and is like, "I'm not even being funny, but Walking Dead is actually happening. Someone's been bit in my back garden. It's like he's got that
just smash her in with a shovel.
Face on, you know. Ah. You know, what do you do? What do you do? Well, we live coastal. That's what I've got my little plan. I've got my boat set up, drive my family out there, pick up the pig on the way, and his family, whatever it is, jump on that boat out to Brownsea Island, innit?
That's a good idea, mate.
Fort.
That's a good idea, mate, with only two major drawbacks.
Right.
First drawback, you don't have a fucking boat. You're just going to assume that you're just going to be able to take someone else's boat. Nobody else would have had that bright idea. Especially the kind who actually owns the boat, especially when a zombie apocalypse is coming. Second problem with that plan is that If you go on an island that's about fucking a few hundred yards away from the shore, I don't know if you've seen The Walking Dead, those bitches can wade, mate.
They don't
can
swim.
fucking
They
wade.
wouldn't swim
They
over.
fucking walk.
Nah,
They
the
float
tide's
over,
too
mate.
strong.
Well, you obviously haven't seen The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead, where they come in from the fucking sea,
Oh, yeah, good
mate.
point, actually.
You ever seen that?
Fucking hell, they do.
Two
don't
major drawbacks in that plan, but not a bad one, mate. I think
But at
staying
least they'll
out on the
keep you
boat would be
safe for a
better.
while, and also you wouldn't know at the time of the apocalypse, start of the breakout of the apocalypse, that it's definitely going to be that Walking Dead type zombie. Do you know what I mean? It could be can't handle the water.
Mate, Walking Dead type zombie, I can handle that. You know, they're pretty slow, bits fall off them, easy.
You can handle it. What do you mean you can handle it?
You can kill it with a fucking
shit
biro,
yourself.
mate. No, I'd love it,
You
mate.
shit-
I'd be out there
you wouldn't.
stabbing people with biros, mate.
you
Jason
wouldn't.
Bourne style.
With you.
100%, mate. I wouldn't be using no sword or anything like that, Michonne Bird, or a gun like Rick Grimes. No way. I'd be using a fucking big biro, mate, just to make it that little bit harder. A bit challenging. I have to get them in the fucking eye. You know what I mean? That is what I do, because you know what, I like a challenge. But no, in all seriousness, there's part of me, obviously not, but there's part of me that would love a zombie apocalypse, mate. Just out there with a cricket bat, fucking.
I think there's parts of all of us. That's why we watch shows like this, isn't it? It's like you don't actually want it to happen, but the ideal of living in that kind of world where you're fucking Rick Grimes, aren't you? You wear some sick watch where people are looking up on eBay to buy it just because that Rick Grimes wears it from fucking, you know. Do you know what I mean?
Is that what you've done, is it?
Yeah. No, I didn't buy it. I couldn't find it. Can't find that cunt.
Rarity.
That is going to be some,
That's a rarity.
some valuable. What is it? It's a Kenneth Cole.
Fucking hell.
A Kenneth Cole watch.
Kenneth Cole, who's
Yeah.
that? I've never even heard of that,
Well,
mate.
I don't know, but you know, I looked up Kenneth Cole. You could buy other watches, but I want that watch if I was going to have it, wouldn't I? A Kenneth Cole watch.
Oh, Gungshi, what are you doing, pal?
Another donation.
You just donated a couple of $100 Taiwanese dollars there, you
Thank
freaking
you so
legend.
much, Gunshi.
Gungshi, that's the second donation of the night. Are you aware that you've already sent money? Anyway, thank you.
Let's have a comment section. Let's start off with Gunshi's comment because I think it deserves to be looked at after several donations over several shows now. Let's see what he's got to say. So you'd be safe in the bunker. Oh, I like this one. So this is on our apocalyptic theme that we got going on at the moment. You'd be safe in your bunker there if there was a nuclear attack, lads. The walls look 5 feet thick. Well, he might be right. You know, I haven't heard a noise out there for days.
We are in a bunker.
Lucky you kept keeping me fed, isn't it?
We're in an Anderson shelter built in 1941 right now. That's where we are. No, fair play. I don't think we probably would be reasonably safe in here. From the zombies, anyway, not from nuclear blasts. We'd
We could
definitely be
use the
killed.
darts, couldn't we, to kill the zombies? You
Oh,
just you wouldn't
Gunshi.
throw it at them, though, would you? You'd hold the dart and just pop a...
Hey, Gungshi,
stab
I
it.
want to ask you something,
Yeah.
pal. So, Gungshi, Gungshi's obviously like an Oriental-sounding name, right?
Another
Right,
little
but you
donation
said-
there, Glenn Ryan. Thank you
But
so
you,
much.
hold on, but you said previously that you are from the UK, you're an expat now living in Taiwan. What I want to know is, are you like my friend Henry here, who's like a hybrid, you know, half English,
That's
half
almost
Asian?
that's almost derogatory, isn't it? Hybrid.
That's not derogatory,
No,
mate. That's
that's
what it is. It's a
saying
mixture.
stuff like that.
How else would you say it? Mixed
Mixed
race.
race,
Mixed
yeah.
race. But I think that implies something else, mate. I don't want to know
Hybrid
that.
kind of just sounds... I don't know. People don't really use that term.
Okay, well, I just fucking used it, all right?
I don't like it.
All right, does that offend you? Seriously?
Well, maybe.
Maybe I should actually retract that then if Asians are going to get on my case, you know what I mean? But anyway, I
Hybrid
mean...
Theory. That's what it's about. Love that album.
Oh, he's just put Gungshi means congratulations in Chinese. But I want to know, are you a
I should know
hybrid?
that. I can speak a bit of Chinese.
Go on then, speak a bit of Chinese
Well,
to Gungshi.
I'm not going to speak Chinese. Well, okay. Ni hao. Well, Jiao. Henry.
Xie.
Ni Jiao. Gunchi.
I fucking said something, didn't I?
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, there you go, that's what I know.
So,
Konnichiwa, my Japanese friends.
Hybrid sounds like something created in a lab. Well, there we go. That's me and you, Ganshi, innit? To be fair, he's right.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, I just wanted to know if, you know, basically what race you were. A bit of a personal question. But please answer in the comments section. Gungshi said good Mandarin, Henry.
Thank you so much. Gunshi, I'd imagine
No, you're wrong
is
actually.
Cantonese.
You're wrong actually, Gungshi. You had a tangerine, mate. Not a fucking Mandarin.
So please, let's see some football comments, things that you guys want to talk about out there, so we can wrap up the show. There's some massive things that have happened since the last show, isn't it? It just goes to show how crazy the football world is, how much things can change. You know, there's no linkage with Alexis Sanchez to United. There still isn't, but it pretty much looks like that's going to happen. Obviously, you've got the transfers of Walcott as well. So a lot of Arsenal business at the moment. Spurs, as always, not really seeming to sign anyone. So yeah. Boring FA Cup as well that we all love.
Shitty FA Cup.
Let's look at some of these things then. So Red Devils Weekly.
Red Devil Weekly double announcement tonight. Apparently, Jose new contract until 2021. I saw this myself, and I think it's a good move for United because he has done very well since he's come to the club. Bit ropey this season, but look at the facts. City are having an amazing season. We're only 12 points behind them. I know, it's a reasonable amount, but we're still second. We're still in the hunt for those. For the second spot for the Champions League spaces. We could still in the cups. It's like he's doing a good job. Last season did the treble in a transitional season, his first season in charge. Look at what Moisey did. Look at how LVG did. He's trumped them all. He's done way better. The best thing we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson. There may be a better manager out there for Manchester United, but right now I can't see who that person would be. Get Jose down.
Guardiola.
Possibly.
It's fucking easy to see who it is.
Is it? Because
easy.
Look at the team that City had that Pep Guardiola inherited. It's better than Man United's squad at the time when Jose came in, you'd have to say. So that's surely going to help him.
You got a Van Gaal squad.
Got Sergio Aguero and company and Torre and just all these players that they've got in their squad, you're going to do well anyway. But obviously he is a great manager. But yeah, what was I saying? Jose, I think he's the future for Manchester United, at least for the next few years. 2021 sounds about right. If he can get a bit of success over the next couple of seasons, maybe we will get Sanchez in, maybe we'll get Ronaldo in, and then next year we will be challenging City for that top spot. And that's where United need to be. With the type of club, we should be challenging first and foremost for the Premier League title, 100% every single year. If we're not doing that, it's a failure. We are doing that this year. I know we're some way off, but we are still doing that this year under Jose, and I think he's got a lot of stick recently this season. I've given him some because I don't like the way we've gone about games, the way we've played, negative, defensive, all that stuff. It's all well and good when it pays off, when you do win the game. But if you don't, or if you get embarrassed like when we did get City in some of these other games, then you're obviously people going to ask questions of you. But out of everybody who's available right now, who's not Pep Guardiola, you'd have to say Jose is the man with the best CV. He's won the most things. I think he's won something like 27 titles throughout his career. He's the next best thing since Sir Alex Ferguson. So for me, I think that's a great move to sign him up for that time. Surely you would agree right now. Who's available? Unless you're going to take a gamble on a Pochettino or something.
Or Ryan Giggs or something crazy like that. Yeah, you're right, 100%. Jose Mourinho, brilliant manager. His record speaks for itself. His football is not always the most popular out there. He's got his critics, that's for sure. But let's see what he can do. And I think I'd love to see Jose. This for me, this is the biggest challenge that Jose's ever faced as a manager. Because I think every other time he's been able to just get a sick team together, get his philosophy over to the players, and just win again, time and time again. For once, he's actually up against someone that is also better at the moment, isn't it? So it's time for Jose to step up and prove what he's made of.
You're right.
That's going to make the difference between whether he's A or A star, isn't it?
I think you're right there. Other than the Porto, of course, where he's up against the best teams in Europe and still won the Champions League. Other than that, he's always come into Chelsea first time around, spent shitloads of money. What player do you want? Yeah, no worries. Roman will get it you. That's what it was like. This is the first time, okay, he's actually spent 90 million on Pogba, 85 million on Lukaku, all these players talking about getting Sanchez.
Coming in.
It's kind of the same
thing. Paying the biggest wages out there.
But what I would say is the squad difference between Man City and United is quite apparent right now at this moment in time anyway. So I think he's got a lot of work to do, like you say. This is a great challenge for him. Get your teeth stuck into it. If you can dethrone City, maybe not this season, hopefully this season, but then next season, then that would be a big achievement. So I totally agree with you, mate.
100%. So let's see what else people have got to say. Joe Burda says next season we have to win the Premier League. Now that's interesting, Joe. Out there, thanks for your comment today. But just putting it out there, thinking that you have to be winning next season. Is that the requirement at Manchester United? Do you think every season, as a United fan, as Joe Burda out there is, it should be thinking, yeah, we should be winning the Premier League this season. Otherwise, it's a failure.
Historically, yes, since the Premier League era, you have to say we should be challenging every single season, which we pretty much have done, bar a few calamities, with Moisey and all that. But right now, the money we've spent, definitely, if we'd done an Arsenal and, tightened the purse strings and not spent any money, not brought in the players, then you couldn't really say that. But because we have spent the money, we have brought in these players with these big expectations, we've got one of the best managers in the world, who I'm sure is on one of the biggest salaries in management around the world, then yes, we have to be challenging every single year. And even as a club, we expect that, we want that. We've become accustomed to that over the years since we've been in the Premier League. You know, so yeah, 100% a club like United should be challenging for it every year. Doesn't mean you're going to win it every year. You know, Sir Alex didn't win it every year, but he still holds the record for the most consecutive wins in the Premier League, 3 years in a row, twice. Fucking legend, you know, but we're not expecting that right now. We're just expecting to be challenging for it. We should be winning 1 out of 3 Premier Leagues at the moment. The Premier League's got harder. It's got more even. There's more money in it, evenly spread across the league. City are right up there now. Chelsea are right up there now. There's Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs knocking at the door. You know, it's not as easy to win the Premier League as it was 20 years ago, I think, anyway. So I think it's harder to do it, but yes, we should be right up there challenging. Fucking good answer that, wasn't it?
100%. 100%. Almost listeners, it's normal. So I'm looking for comments here.
No, don't read that one.
I'm not reading that one. I've got some silly ones. We're not even going to give the time of day to. Just
get out
so
of here.
Yes. So yes. Let's scroll back because I'm sure
gonna get rid of this prick.
I'm sure we did. Oh, can we do that?
Yeah, hang on.
Can we just fuck him off? Can we?
Remove, motherfucker! You're gone. You are gone. No, I actually just deleted the message. I didn't block him. But if I see another one from you, Mohammed, you'll be gone, pal. Oh dear.
Did you guys read the contribution?
Red Devil Weekly. What's that one? Right, you just keep talking about it.
See, we need to get this section better. I know. The comment section is awful, isn't it? Because you're getting all these comments spewing up. My mind's having to think, process whether, can I talk about that? Nah, I better not talk about that one. That one looks interesting. That one's a bit short. That one's a bit long. So it is tricky, isn't it? But we will get through a couple of comments. We need to get the lines working, definitely, that's for sure.
Did you read the contribution from Jack? Sorry, mate, I'm just trying to find. I don't know what's going on here. This is some amateur hour shit going on now. Jack, 50 years is the question. What the fuck? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh shit, Jack. Okay, we found it now, pal.
Thank you so much.
£2 from Jack and Brad Gaming. Thank you again, mate.
Spurs win the Prem in the next 10 years.
Nice one, Red Devil Weekly, for that.
I would like to say that, you know, we should be looking to win the Premier League in the next 10 years. If Leicester City can do it, there has to be... I think what Spurs need is we need to be playing our best one season, and we need to have another one of those seasons where some of the other teams aren't at their best. Let's say 4 years' time when Guardiola leaves City, when maybe Jose leaves United, you know, when you get a couple of them sort of mug sort of managers, like the Pellegrinis out there, and that sort of thing. When you're struggling. No, but Poch, you know, shut your mouth, mate. I think, yes, Tottenham, certainly if Harry Kane can stay at our side and we can strengthen, then I don't see why we can't win the Premier League. I really think that Tottenham can challenge if we've got the depth in the squad.
Fair play. I like your enthusiasm there. Jack and Brad Gaming, thank you very much for the super chat and the accompanying question there. Absolute legend. I mean, we're going to wrap it up soon, but really, I'm actually blown away by the support that we're getting from you guys on this podcast. People seem to be really enjoying this. It does seem to be gathering a bit of steam. You know, obviously, we're not up there with frickin' Joe Rogan podcast or anything, but people are coming back. People are interested in what we're doing here, and I like it. There's no show like this, is there? Somebody, Gungshi said it the other week, there's no show like this. We've known each other for 15, was it? 16, 17 years, something like that. So the history's there. We're both really passionate about our teams, both really passionate about football, and we like to have a laugh as well. And we do sometimes act like we are, you know, at each other's throats, quite frankly. We do banter, we do get pissed off with each other as good friends do, and you can see that, you know? So I think it does make for an interesting sort of concept, interesting platform, and I'm just loving it.
What you're saying is we're just human beings, but it's waffling on about all this shit, like, yeah, we're just, yeah.
Right, go fuck yourself then, mate. You know what I mean? Go fuck yourself. I'm trying to give you a bit of credit there, saying fair play. This show's really improved since I've stopped doing it on my own and I've got Henry involved. Well, do you know what? You can just fuck off. We just call it the Pig Show.
I want to get call-ins because I think it'd be brilliant to get people phoning in.
Totally.
I don't know whether we can do it live because I don't want someone phoning in and saying something that's going to spoil the show.
That's it.
Having said that, we could have a recorded.
That's the only thing with
but does that spoil it?
It kind of spoils it.
We'd like your opinions on that, how we should move the show forward, please.
Because the fact is, somebody
like that are much appreciated because I think this is a show for the people out there. It's not just about how we think the show should develop. Please let us know how you want the show to be as well.
That's right. If somebody calls in and they say something racist or they say something really inappropriate, well, they're just an absolute prick. I don't really mind if they're a prick. That'd be funny. You know, we can have a bit of banter with these pricks and say, look, fuck off, you're a prick. And we can hang up on them. But if somebody says some racist shit or, you know, we do a video Skype in or something, someone gets a knob out.
We just don't want to give these people a platform on YouTube.
Alk Mahmood's put his phone number down on the video again, mate. But last time that was
Did it? You're having us on, Alk.
You're having us on, Alk.
Yeah.
You want us to create dead air again for 5 minutes while we call the same fucking number and over. It doesn't connect. Stop trying to mug us off.
Premium rate bullshit.
You know, I don't need the number for Babe Station on here. I already know it.
Gunchy wants the number.
But yeah, when we do that, when we get everything in place to be able to have you guys Skype in or call in and do it all live, people like Gungshi, people like Alex Rincon, everybody who's commented here and comes back weekly, basically, I'd be happy to pre-arrange for them to come on that particular week and do it. That's probably the best way to do it.
Rather than taking random calls, I think taking calls from people, dedicated 100%. Subscribers out there, and people that deserve to get their voices and opinions out there.
Yeah, Alex Rincon just says, Pig, you can give people to give their Skype name and we call them. That's the best way to do it. 100%. You will be number one on the list, Alex Rincon, and then Gunchi over in Taiwan, you could be number 2. Shit, have I just said who I prefer there? No, I'm just joking. It's just Alex Rincon has been going on about phoning in for ages. But yeah, you two my special people, you know. Everybody else. No, I'm joking. But thank you ever so much for all the support that you guys have given on the Pig and the Hen show. You can also find it on iTunes as well, and SoundCloud, you know, the podcast app on your phone. So get over there if you want to listen to the audio format of it, because what I'll do after this is I'll take the audio from it, stick it on there. You can listen to it on your phone while you're down the gym, while you're having a hike, maybe doing something else, you know. And you can listen to that, and you don't actually have to look at our ugly mugs, so that's probably a bonus.
Well, there we go. I do it all the time. Listen back to the show, make sure I didn't say any profanities that I regretted.
Which is every single week then.
Yeah, most probably.
Especially in the last one, before Holston's Deep.
Yeah, all right.
What did you come out with in the last one? Oh, yeah, no, we don't even want to talk about that. Oh, dear, right. Should we wrap it up there?
I think we should wrap it up. But I think another thing that
Big thank you, everybody, though.
Need in the show is like little segments, isn't it? Just to break it up a
100%.
bit. We need little music things going on.
100%.
Boring. This is boring.
100%.
Fair play to you guys for sticking with us without the normal kind of shit that shows have. You know what I mean? Because we are lacking in that department.
Oh no! Gungshi says you've made me sad now. I thought I was your favourite. You are my favourite.
You're my favourite, Gungshi.
Yeah, you're Henry's favourite. Me, personally.
No, I don't know.
I could do without you.
But I do love a bit of Lord of the Rincon, though. I do. I love them both.
No, but you two, you hold a very special place in my heart.
All right.
But
so
anyway,
just get a room.
Harper Hull is another classic. There's so many classics around here. I feel like I get to know you guys doing this, you know? It's funny because
he gets honestly. Stop it, guys. Stop it with these comments. You're getting him emotional. Yeah.
I feel like I've made so many friends doing this. You know? Anyway, right. Let's wrap it up there. Please go over to iTunes, subscribe to the Pig and the Hen Show Pigcast podcast. You can search for also. Go over there, subscribe. If you're new around here on YouTube, please subscribe and chuck a like on the video. Henry's on Twitter at Henry_Hotspur. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Mr. Flying Pig HD. So if you want to hear a bit more from us, you can go over there and follow us, tweet at us, message us. I'll try and get back to you. I use Twitter more than anything else. So if you're sending me messages on Facebook, chances are I'm probably not going to read them for a good while. Twitter, I'm more likely to read, but still, you know, do get a fair few spam messages and all this stuff through. So sometimes I miss them. So, you know, James Arnold comments, great show. Thank you very much for the support there, James. Much appreciated. The Truth comments, don't go yet. You know, we've got people who can't bear us leaving.
Lives. Just a quick shout out. I just needed to say lost a legend this week. The old Cyril Regis. So is young as well, and a great
59,
player.
I think, no age really.
Inspirational to many of the British, African, British, etc. players. Black players, in those days, someone to look up to, someone that went
I was going to
through
say
those
African
times.
British. I don't think so. It's not like we're in America, African American.
Oh, okay. Well, slip of the tongue then. It's difficult, isn't it? It's just
maybe
saying things
you
right
can
sometimes.
definitely be African British, but maybe he was like Caribbean British.
Well,
or
maybe
something.
he was. Well, there we
from
go.
fucking West Indies or something, you know.
Right, British then. Okay.
Happy with that. Yeah.
So yeah, rest in peace, that man out there.
No, rest in peace, Cyril Regis, one of the true pioneers, you know, in England for the sport for black people, and it's a big loss. When I think about it, actually, like 59 years of age, I've got a CD in my car with football songs on. There's one track which is a chant about Cyril Regis.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And just to think that guy's now dead, it's fucked up, man. And people are dropping like flies right now. So just enjoy the time you've got on Earth right now, because you never know what's going to happen. Look at this Hawaii scare the other day. You know, 38 minutes, you could be fucking gone. You never know. You've got Kim Jong-un, Donald Trump playing table tennis. across the freaking oceans with their tiny penises. You know, anything can freaking happen. So let's wrap it up there anyway. Thank you, Henry, for coming to join me on the Pig at the Hen show. Thank you guys for tuning in and getting involved in the comment section. We really appreciate all the support that you've been showing us. And also just you guys interacting with us. You're a bunch of legends. Keep doing it. Keep coming back every Wednesday night around about 8:30 UK time. Sorry a little bit late tonight, but Henry was late. You know, you got to work on your timekeeping, mate.
I don't know. You were late. You said don't come until after that time. That's what you said.
I said don't come
until
after 8:15.
And I wanted to come earlier than that. I wanted to come earlier than that, but you couldn't make it earlier than that.
Right,
and then it has to be later.
Let's just establish something here. I said come at any time after 8:15, yeah? Which means come between 8:15 and 8:30 because we said we'd be starting the fucking show at 8:30. So what time does this good break rock up? 20 to 9. That's unacceptable, mate.
Whatever, mate. Whatever. Ronaldinho has hung up his boots, today.
Has he officially?
Yeah, officially, that's it. You know, he was done when he was 26, wasn't he? But he was great. He was great back in the day. He basically was.
He still had great time over at AC Milan and stuff.
I mean, he was, he could have been better. He was into his club and that. But he was, he was great.
Such a nice guy, though. Something about Ronaldinho, I just loved that bloke. Always just seemed like he played with a smile on his face.
He's another one of the players with the teeth, isn't he?
Jealous of his dentist. Yeah, he's got a lot of work.
It's teeth, but the Suarez is like he's the bad one. He's the biter.
He's the
but
biter.
Ronaldinho's
got weapons, but he's tame.
Rivaldo, he was the face cover rapper, wasn't he? Always remember that Rivaldo. I hate that guy. No, I'm sure he's a legend, isn't he? But there we go.
Right, anyway, we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. Get on the social media, like, subscribe, comment on YouTube. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. Come back next Wednesday around about 8:30 for a Pigcast podcast, Pig and the Hen show. We will try and do as many as we can now, hopefully 2 a week from now on, but certainly every single Wednesday.
We got a biggie coming up. We got United Tottenham. United Tottenham, it is on the horizon.
What day is that on, do you know?
Let me double check. I should know off the top of my head.
I think it might be
on a Wednesday.
I think it's on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday. So we are going to have a live Pig and the Hen. Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur. Right. Have we been to Old Trafford already this season?
It's at Wembley.
It's at Wembley. So we got Wembley. Like, it's basically neutral ground kind of thing, right? Yes, we'll have all our Tottenham stuff emblazoned everywhere, but it's Wembley. It's going to be massive.
Maybe we should have a look at getting fucking tickets for that game, mate. Wembley Stadium, I'm just thinking the capacity.
But then we can't do the show.
We could do the show from the stands of Wembley Stadium, mate.
We get egged on or something. We get egged.
Maybe a Spurs and United fans sit next to each other chatting cod shit for the whole game would run up a few bricks.
Definitely need a hat on, wouldn't you?
Right,
the eggshell wouldn't be able to cut through that wall.
Need my moderator Kyle Fury in the house because this prick on here, I've just blocked him anyway. Dag, fuck off. Sorry that took me so long. That's the problem. I'm missing all these obscenities.
The bigger you get, then the more cunts follow.
Definitely need some more moderators.
Shit, don't you, when you're walking along the street?
If I know you and you're pretty sound, give us a direct message on Twitter if you fancy moderating this. If you do watch it every week anyway, maybe you'd like to moderate and get rid of all these racist pricks. That'd be very nice. But anyway, thank you ever so much for tuning in, everybody watching. We've done this wrap up about 3 times now, so let's just fucking end it here. But thank you for watching. I'm the Pig.
Encore! Encore!
Let's just finish this fucking thing, mate. I'm the Pig.
I'm the Hen.
You've been watching The Pig and the Hen.
What about the animal noises? The animal noises.
What the fuck was that, mate? Is that one of those dinosaurs from Jurassic Park?
There's a hen in it. There's a hen. It's like laying an egg. I'm laying the egg, so I'm going to egg your face with in a minute, mate.
That's the fucking Roadrunner, mate. That's the Roadrunner. Where's Wiley Clancy, mate? I heard that prick around here. Didn't sound like a chicken, did it?
Right, one more time. Come on.
Right, thanks for watching the Pig and Hen show. I'm the Pig.
And I'm the Hen.
I'll accept that.
I don't know, maybe we need to stop doing this. It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it, really?
Right, thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, a bit cringe, mate.
Maybe you.
We'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Have a good one. And until next time, take it easy.
Peace and love.
United. See you soon.